Okay, guys, so welcome. First of all, it's Thursday, April 7th. It's our first call after we got started. And so this is how I just want to lay out how this is gonna go each week, because we have half an hour and I want to try to keep our time pretty strict. I want to finish by 9 o'clock, 8:30 to 9, and I want to start on time too. So I'm starting a little late. Anyway, so a couple things. One, we're going to start with some shout outs, but we're going to start next week because we haven't really dove in yet. And so why it's really, really important to fill out that weekly survey self-evaluation form is because it's going to help you evaluate your last week. It's also going to help me know how I can help you. And then also it's going to help us celebrate each other. So I really want you to think hard when it asks the question, what were your successes this week? Because you know what? There is always something. So I want you to type it out, whatever it is, whatever you're proud of yourself for, whatever you stuck to, whatever you learned. Let's say you didn't stick to anything and you're like, oh, it was a terrible week. You know what? It doesn't matter. You learned something, right? So I want you to find something to celebrate, because we're going to celebrate each other. We're going to shout that out. I'll also give you any updates about future events and challenges or new programs. Okay, well, that part will be really short. And then we're going to go over the troubleshooting area, the things that people were struggling with, and we'll come up with some ideas together. Okay. This week is a little different because we all just started, although I do want to say there's some really big shout outs happening. I'm not going to say it quite yet because she didn't tell me I could say it. She could nod her head right now if she wants to. Awesome. So Kristen is already down. Let me see some fingers. 6. What? Unmute yourself. Just say it.
5.5.
Oh, okay. 5.5 pounds in just a couple days. So awesome job, Kristen. She made a mention that amazing things happen when you cut out processed foods, right? High five to that. Boom. Okay, so it's just amazing. I know some other people had some things that they said in the chat, but I can't remember them at the moment. Oh yes, I don't miss bread, right? I think Colleen said that. I don't miss bread. Had a bite at dinner, but didn't need it. And Kristen made deconstructed zucchini boats, which by the way look amazing, but didn't add the cheese. And she said, I didn't need it with the cheese. I actually find out I like it even without the cheese, which is great. It's amazing the things that we're realizing about ourselves. Okay, so I love it. I'm going to read more of those later. Not craving sugar. Those are also all very great. So today, though, I want to go over real quick some of the things that Melanie and I actually talked about the other day, because here's the thing. There's two different ways. Oh my gosh, I keep like choking on my own words. There's two different ways that we can prep, and we'll talk about that. But I went over, I was just in Punta Cana, right? I was in Punta Cana right before or right after the 4-week gut protocol came out. And Autumn was there and spoke to us. And while she was in Punta Cana is when she put together the toolkit, by the way. So if there's any typos on the toolkit, that would be why. So what she did is she put together this toolkit, and I'm actually going to show you where to find these things, because there's a couple questions. I'll show you those things that we went over on these questions that I was hearing, and then also I'll share some of the tips that we went over with Melanie. So here we go. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, good. There we go. It wasn't working before. Okay, here we go. So in the BOD app, I want to show you this. One of the biggest questions was, where am I finding these things? It was kind of difficult for some people to find some of the things, so I'm going to show you. So this is the app. You can also do this on your desktop. Okay, so on your desktop, you're going to go to www.beachbodyondemand.com, beachbodyondemand.com, and you have to log in. Once you log in, you're going to go to programs. Now here, I could just click right there, 4-week gut protocol. But if you don't see it there, you got to go to programs first. Okay. So on beachbodyondemand.com, go log in, go to programs, and then you're going to find it in the nutrition center right there, 4-week gut protocol. Okay. So same on your desktop. Once you're there, you went through, you know, the getting started, and then you go to lessons and you watched all 4 lessons. If you didn't, make sure you watch them. And then you have a weekly focus video. So make sure you watch week 1. Okay. And then very soon you'll be watching week 2. Okay. Also, I should go back for a second. The start here. Where is it? If you scroll down, right there, there's information on how to text Autumn. You text Autumn and then she starts sending you text messages throughout your journey. Little tips, little tricks. Make sure you do that as well. Okay. So back to lessons. We did all the lessons. Now, bonus material. You can go through the bonus material, and there's some videos in there that are great. The latte is wonderful. Recipe videos and meal plans and recipes. These are the 2 that people were really asking me a lot. So the recipe videos are awesome. They're really great recipes, but it looks a little limited. Like there's not a million recipes there, right? There's just a few, and that's okay. There's plenty more. They're just hidden. Okay, so the next tab is meal plans and recipes. This is where she made that toolkit right there at the top. There's actually sample days in there for your plan. So plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. There's sample days in there if you want to look at them. There's also some great tips. Read the beginning. Autumn said while we were in Punta Cana, and this is why she put together the toolkit, I don't want you to have a million meal plans from us, because the whole point of this is for you to learn how to do these things on your own and make it second nature. It's also that you need to track what you're doing so that you can see how the food affects you. And the other thing she wants you to remember, and this is what Melanie and I talked about, is how to keep things simple and almost as if it's what you were already eating before. I'll explain that in a second. So you have right there the planning toolkit. The next one is some Fixate approved meals from Fixate. So you can read that, and then you'll find those recipes. I'll show you in a minute where to find them. And then here, everybody misses this because it's so easy to miss. See that little plus sign? Click the little plus sign and you'll find all of these recipes here. Many, many more than what were on the page prior. Okay, so there's those. And then, okay, so like I said, I'll show you where this is. This 4-week gut protocol approved all of these recipes. You can find those recipes in Fixate. So you have to actually go out of this program, okay, back into the nutrition center. This is Fixate. Fixate has a million recipes in it. A million, lots of recipes. You can click there. You can find all different kinds of recipes. Some, a lot, are not 4-week gut protocol possible. Like they might have dairy and they might have gluten, but you can see on here, some of them say gluten-free, gluten-free. They're all labeled, okay? And dairy-free, I forget what the label looks like for dairy-free. So you'll have to flip through. I don't remember. So there's that. Okay. So whatever those recipes that she wrote on that last one, you'll find them in here. The resources are all the PDFs. You can go on your desktop and do this, and then find things easier on your desktop if you're searching for a specific one. Also, this is really important. A lot of people don't know this. So you can search right here on this page up here. So if it said fish sticks, right? You can just write fish sticks, and then it'll say fish sticks and 5 of them, fish sticks and recipes. And then you go here and it'll show you those 5, and you'll see them right there. And that obviously the top one's the one we were looking for. And then right down here, so you have to like scroll around and look, because that's the video, but down here is the PDF. Okay, so you gotta look at the whole page. That happens a lot. Some people miss things because of that. When I say some people, I mean me. Okay, so that's important. So those are different ways to look. I just want to make sure that you're not missing things. It's easy to miss things. You have the recipes, meal plans, and then resources over here are all your PDFs from the program. Okay. Some other things that people miss on this program is this one, treats and substitutes. Don't miss your treats and substitutes. When you really feel like you're needing a sweet, you can go in here. It says 1 per week. Okay. So use it either planned, like, oh, I'm going to plan one for Saturday night for dessert when I have family over or something, or I'm really craving something sweet and I really want it. Follow the rules, like not the rules, but follow the guidelines. And listen, it says we suggest 1 per week. Okay. If you need more than 1 per week, just so you stay on plan, do it, right? Because it's there, and make sure you count it as what it is, right? So some of these are a purple. You're just going to make sure that it is allotted for your day. Okay. So make sure you go over all of those resources, including the stool chart. Okay. The stool chart, I think I have it listed in my form, don't I? In the self-evaluation form. I think the picture is there. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. Okay. So that is that. So here's what we were talking about. Melanie and I were talking about it. Melanie said, I'm so hungry. And I found this funny. I told her I was laughing because literally hours before that, I messaged someone. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so full. But we have this connection. We like feeling full. We like a lot of food. We like to feel satisfied, right? We're volume eaters. That's what I call it. That's what I got that from Alana from 2B Mindset. So here's the thing. There's a couple tricks to this. Melanie, you don't mind if I share all the different things we talked about doing? Okay. So one of the things that I suggested was her shake in the morning. The shake had multiple things in it, a purple added in there and 2 greens of spinach. And this is what I said. I said, listen, if you, and no yellow. So if you're feeling hungry all day long, let's start with breakfast, okay? Deconstruct your shake. If you can drink your shake without anything else in it, like if you could just have almond milk in it and then just the shake, then do that so you can eat the blueberries on the side and put them in oatmeal. Like have a yellow. So have a yellow with blueberries that's big, that's full, it's satisfying. It's going to fill your belly. And then have the shake on the side with just the almond milk, ice and the shake, and blend it real good to make it also rich and delicious. That will give you more volume, and by chewing it, it's going to make you feel fuller as well. Did you do that? You did that the next day. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing I said, and this is important, the spinach in the shake, I said, listen, it's a dark leafy green. And I've been saying this for years while teaching Fixate or helping with Fixate and 21 Day Fix and all those things. If it's a dark leafy green, spinach, or even lettuce, like any lettuce, spinach, lettuce, romaine, iceberg, I don't care what dark leafy or lettuce type food it is. Don't worry about counting it. Like, just if you want it in your shake, put it in your shake, right? Don't worry about counting it because it's literally like 5 calories. It doesn't matter. It's good for you. You cannot overeat your lettuce. Okay. So use your 6 containers throughout the rest of the day. If you still want the spinach in the shake, just add it and don't worry about counting it. It would be different if it was like the rice cauliflower, or, frozen rice cauliflower, or frozen butternut squash. These are things that people will add to their shakes. Frozen sweet potatoes, those count, right? Count the greens for those, count the red, yellows for them. But if it's a leaf, like spinach, romaine, iceberg, butter, any of those lettuces, if it's those and raw, not cooked, so you don't want like as a ton of cooked spinach, count those out. But raw and leafy, just eat it. Who cares? Right? Just add it and eat your 6 containers later on in the day so it fills you up, because 2 or 3 cooked veggies for lunch and dinner are going to make you way much fuller, right? Okay. My English is not the best. And it's my only language, not my second language. So, okay, so that's number one. That was for breakfast. The other things that we talked about that I think really are helpful when it comes to trying something new, like the 4-week gut protocol, is to eat what you normally eat, just make it fit in the containers. Don't try to go totally off your system, right? So like Kristen made that zucchini, deconstructed zucchini, and you said you've made it before, right? But so it's something that's familiar, it's easy to make, you already know the recipe, but she made it fit by just taking off the cheese. Like if it's something that you normally eat, you're more likely to stay on plan. You're more likely to feel not as overwhelmed. Like I just printed out recipes literally today. I didn't print recipe. I didn't look at recipes for the week in the beginning of the week because I just wanted to cook a bunch of food that I already know I like and then just threw it together. Which brings me to my next point. Kaylee and I talk all the time. Kaylee does the meal plannings on Fridays and she's fabulous. I absolutely love her. And I suggest everybody getting on a meal planning call with her. She's absolutely great. However, she and I plan very differently. Okay. And I think it's good for people to see both ways of planning. I plan a little bit more like Autumn. She plans more like a crazy mom who's never home ever. So she, and I stay home a lot. She makes everything into its meal ahead of time and has it ready to go. So you might see in her fridge 5 or 6 lunches already made, or breakfasts already made and portioned out, right? Ready to go in her fridge. She just has to grab it. And that's what she does. She puts a lot of her lunches in ball jars. She loves her ball jars. She has them stacked up in her fridge. She grabs, she leaves, she goes out, or she'll have things in sandwich baggies. Everything's portioned out already in her fridge to go. Okay. I'm not like that. I tend to cook things in bulk. Like normally I would have a salad. This week I'm not. It's actually bothering me. I can't wait to get to raw food. But yeah, everybody, yes, I agree. I mean, I'm sure she has a method for her madness, but I'm done with it already. Anyway, we chop up our veggies and keep them separate. So I have a container of chopped carrots, a container of chopped red peppers, a container of whatever, right? A container of cooked quinoa, a container of cooked chicken thighs, a container, like I just keep things, I call it family style. Okay. And then when I'm ready to eat, I'll be like, all right, I want some of this, I want some of that. And then I just measure it out. And so for example, this week I have a picture. I don't need the picture. I made roasted butternut squash and I did this all in less than an hour. Okay. Roasted chopped butternut squash, roasted, wow, how do I forget these things so quickly? Beets, roasted beets. I made quinoa on the stove. I sauteed broccoli in olive oil, not olive oil, coconut oil, and I made some other things. I don't remember everything. Oh, roasted carrots, some other things. I just put them all in the oven at one time, all on separate trays. Then I took them out and put them all in containers. Okay. And then maybe dinner the next day, I made all the chicken thighs for dinner, but we only ate some of them. And so now I have this huge thing of chicken thighs in my fridge, and I keep arugula, baby arugula. So each day, I didn't eat it raw. Don't worry. I warmed it up. I wilted it. Anyway, so the next day I just took a big pan and I put stuff on the pan that equaled my containers, right? And I just warmed it up that way. One day I had it with Bragg's liquid on top of it because that was like my teriyaki day, or Asian day, whatever you want to call it. And then the next day, and that one I had sesame seeds on it for an orange. And then the next day I was like, I don't want that. I want some ghee and what do I do? Sunflower seeds or something. I put the different vegetables that I felt like would match the theme that I felt like for that day. And then quinoa, and then some days I had an extra red on it. But I just like things a little bit more flexible, and that's how I do it. Okay, so they're both okay. There's nothing wrong with either one. And to be honest, we swap them up sometimes. Like, I want this recipe, this oatmeal thing. Did I make 20 of them? No, I made 2 and I stuck them in my fridge because I only had the ingredients for 2. So whatever. I also made the gluten-free bread tonight, which, by the way, it's pretty good. It's not bad. So everybody's different, and you just have to find your own way. And my encouragement to you, though, is just, I should say this about my meal planning. I'm okay doing that because I usually go off of the same template. So, for example, I already know where I already know my 4 proteins are going to be split up between my 4 meals, or I'll have 2 at dinner and no protein for snack, and then breakfast and lunch. And I take my containers and I just split them up throughout the day into a pattern that I normally eat anyway. I normally have Shakeology in the morning, so there's a red always there, right? I always have some kind of lunch with a protein, and so on and so forth. And so if I have a template, then it's easy to grab those things out of the fridge and just fill it in, right? Like a coloring book. So I wanted to share that with you. Any other suggestions or things that we mentioned, Melanie, when we were talking, that helped or that you learned from someone else?
I really liked beefing up my carb for my snack. The potato with I had never had ghee or nutritional yeast before. I was licking my plate. It was so good. I did that again today too. It was just so good.
So Melanie had a baked potato. So do you have, I don't remember because I'm not looking at the meal. Is it half a baked potato?
Yeah, just for my snack. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 1 yellow, which is half a baked potato. Okay.
Yep.
And then she had crisped up 2 pieces of turkey bacon, right? Which is half a red A, I think. And then a teaspoon of ghee, which is your teaspoon, which is so delicious in itself. And then nutritional yeast, which I think is is it free?
Yeah. And I only put like maybe a tablespoon. I didn't put very much on it. But
so nutritional yeast is like flakes, right? And it's not cheese, but
it smells like cheese.
It smells like cheese.
Yeah. I opened the bag and I'm like, Parmesan. It was so crazy.
Yeah, it's good for you. It's shelf stable, which is another cool thing. Shelf stable is good for you, and it's
vitamins.
Yeah, it's a lot of vegans use it. And yes, it's good for you, and it's yummy, and it's delicious, and it's a really good cheese substitute. So I'm glad you like it.
Yeah,
it's actually making me want it. I think I'm gonna make that next week.
It's so I had it yesterday and today. Today I didn't have bacon on it because I didn't have time, but even without the bacon, it was delicious. So
that's awesome. I love that idea. So so in other words, and Melanie, that was another thing. We talked about this. I'm like, well, when do you normally have your yellow? And she's like, at snack. I'm like, well, what do you normally have for a snack? I love baked potatoes. All right, let's go with the baked potato thing, So just kind of try to think about the things you normally do and then just tweak them so they fit the plan. And that's the whole point of those containers, is like, you can still eat the food you love and enjoy. You just have to tweak it a little bit so it fits your macros, which is what the containers are. Making sure that you're eating the right portion or the right ratio of macros and portion control, right? And now also making sure you're eating gut healthy foods as well. And so, you can do that with your normal meals. You just have to tweak them a little bit. So you guys are perfect. I love having you guys on here because you're like rock stars. Anything in the chat I should read? I put it on. What'd you put on cauliflower today? Nutritional yeast.
I just said that because she mentioned in our group. I love our group chat because of the group chat. I bought nutritional yeast yesterday, and then someone else, I can't remember who it was, posted the sausage patties, the chicken sausage.
Oh yeah, Yeah, the breakfast chicken sausage.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
What's
I
the
went
brand name? Do you
into,
remember?
it was whatever the
Applegate?
picture was. Yes.
Oh,
Applegate, I
Apple.
think.
Okay, Applegate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I went into Walmart and I used their app to help me find it. And so I had that today with breakfast, and I felt like I was actually eating like a real breakfast, not just some weird like, oh, I'm having some mixed veggies because I needed green this morning. with
Right?
my- you know, it was like it was very tasty. I was like, all right, I can do this. So I would buy it in bulk next time. I bought the little packs first, but it was very good.
Yes.
But the group chat definitely gives some different ideas like, oh, never really thought of that. Maybe I should try it.
Yeah, I agree. So guys, if you're not in the group chat on Facebook, make sure you tell me. It's probably because we're not friends on Facebook. So if you're watching the video and we're not friends on Facebook, make sure we are so that you can get into the group chat. Any other suggestions or tips that you guys have that you've learned over the last couple days so far?
No, I'm just really having trouble getting that second red bee in. I don't like anything on that list.
Oh,
I'm making myself eat it and I don't like it.
I don't have the list in front of me, but I think
It's
you're talking about
the beans and quinoa and tofu. I don't like any of it. I'm making myself eat it, but I don't like any of it.
all right. That means we have to
So-
find some recipes that you'll end up liking.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get some quinoa and try making it different ways or adding it to something that I like already and see if I can tolerate it. I can't even stand the smell of it. It's the problem. Like,
Quinoa. You don't like
yeah.
the smell of quinoa? Okay.
Yeah.
So well then let's skip quinoa for now. You like chickpeas, right?
Yeah, they're okay. I mean,
Okay, beans.
no, I don't like beans.
Okay, lentils. Are lentils on there? Lentils are not on there.
I've never had a lentil.
Yeah, we're gonna find some way for you to like the.
Yeah, because I did not have my red bee today or yesterday.
Okay. What did you substitute it for another bee, like a bee, red A? No, you just
I just
have it.
didn't have it.
Okay, we're gonna help you. We're gonna come up with something, some way of you loving it. That's not how people normally make it. So it's not.
I
So
know
it
it's
throws you
hard.
for a loop.
It's hard, but I've
Okay.
tried quinoa a couple different times and I just can't get past the smell.
Do you like roasted chickpeas? You're a savory
Yeah,
person,
yep.
right?
Yes, yep.
Maybe you can find some roasted chickpeas.
Okay.
Also, I don't know if you know how to do this. Well, you probably haven't done it yet. But I know you know how to. You like the ghee
Yes.
and chickpeas roasted in the oven is one thing, but like fried, pseudo fried, like
Oh,
in the ghee,
yeah.
saute them. They get like bubbly, and if you
Oh,
put the right kind of seasoning on
yeah.
it literally just tastes like the seasoning. So, and it's like a fried snack. So
Oh,
I'm not
that's a
saying-
good idea.
I'm not saying deep fry your chickpeas. I'm just
No,
saying,
but
like,
just that tiny bit of ghee on there would.
yes.
Okay.
Chickpeas are very good like that, and then
Okay.
salt and whatever other season you have.
Okay.
You're like the goddess of seasonings. I've seen your
Yes.
seasoning. So just pick one
Okay.
and
Okay.
and saute them. Yeah,
Okay.
you'll like them that way.
All right. I'll try that. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah, no problem. Okay,
That's my snack.
so if anybody's watching the replay and has any other suggestions for Melanie when it comes to a red bee, let me know because we would all love the suggestions. Okay, we will talk next week. And next week we'll have more information from you guys. I want to really make sure you fill out that form on Sunday or Monday, and we'll look over it on next Thursday and go over all our victories, but also we'll troubleshoot some areas that we're struggling in. Okay. Awesome. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for getting on the call. Bye.